I had to find the peace with myself to accept my flaws, to accept who I am, and to see myself as someone that I wake up and I'm looking at myself in the mirror every day like, I love you. If they tell me something about others and they just keep complaining, that's a huge red flag. Like, why do you see that there is always a fault in someone else? Why you can't just look inside and say, yes, maybe this is what I'm facing. This is what's stopping me.
When someone wants to go for coaching, they need to want it. It needs to come from their heart.
I can't impose matchmaking or coaching on anyone. They have to feel
true.
like I'm pulled towards it. I want to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you really want to make your partner happy and if you care about him or her, you're going to make the effort. At that given time, place, with the tools you had, with the intention you had, it was the best decision that you could.
Welcome to Femisticated Podcast. My name is Lucia, and for those who listen to this podcast first time, it's all about women's world, and I'm bringing different topics, and we're looking at it from different perspective on how to stay sane in this all craziness and succeed in this world full of sharks, where even feminism is sometimes twisted all the way around. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Mia, and she's a matchmaking coach. And we bring you women's role from this perspective on how we can find the right partner and how easy or how hard it is to find the right match to live forever, ever after.
Yeah, happily ever after, if that even exists.
Yeah. Okay, welcome, Mia. I'm very happy
Thank
that you
you
said yes to this conversation and you came to the podcast. And tell me something more. How did you get to the matchmaking coaching? Because it's very niche down, I think, industry. And what brought you there? What was your impulse, and was it your dream to do it?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here today. Very excited to be here. Matchmaking was something that came to my mind out of a blue, all of a sudden. Okay. But what was there before? I was also single. I was also struggling. Okay. I was also feeling, oh my goodness, I'm going to be single forever. It's not happening to finding my partner. And then I started to look like, okay, what I can do about it. And I'm thinking, all the people that I was seeing or dating, what do they have in common? Me. So maybe it's a good idea to look inside. So I started working on myself. I did loads of work on myself and I realized, all right, it's working. Like I'm changing and people I'm attracting to my life, it's different, right? Than comparing to what it was before. And then when you give advice to your friends and it's working, okay, you know what? Let's do this as a business. And then one day the idea just came out of a blue and I'm like, you know what? If I don't do this, I will regret for the rest of my life. And here I am running my own business,
Very
finally
nice.
Happy and satisfied in my life.
There is always like that behind every business idea is a business owner's story that is successful. And when you said that you worked on yourself, what that means actually? What did you do? Because that could be anything. So how did you work on yourself and why?
I had to face my fears. I had to face my shadows. I had to face the ugly things, because whatever work means, usually it's not something very nice, very pleasant. Okay. So I had to be very self-aware. I had to do lots of self-reflection. So that went through coaching, some hypnotherapy, therapy, NLP, like you name it.
Yourself.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what happened then when you went through? What were you looking for to change inside of yourself? What was the first thing you wanted to change? How I feel about myself. About yourself.
Yeah. I realized that I didn't see the true value that I'm holding. And I always saw myself like someone that is not worthy of love. I saw myself that I deserve the relationship where it's always hot and cold, where it's toxic, because the chemistry is like literally going through the roof and this is how it should be. And then I realized, no, it should be calm. But in order to have it calm, I need to be calm inside of me. Right? So I had to find the peace with myself to accept my flaws, to accept who I am, and to see myself as someone that I wake up and I'm looking at myself in the mirror every day like, I love you.
Yeah, when people are not happy with themselves, they not have high self-worth and confidence, they probably attract wrong partners, and that never goes to the good direction, right?
No, never.
Okay, so you did work on yourself, you set the business, and tell us, how does this matchmaking actually work? So imagine I'm looking for a partner, although I'm not, I'm happily married for forever now with all the ups and downs and 2 kids. Imagine I would be looking for a partner. So I would call you or send you a message, hi Mia, I'm looking for the right partner. Can you help me with this? So what happened next?
Yeah. So I do have different approach for women and I do have a different approach for men. When a woman reached out to me that I would like to be part of your matchmaking database, for women, the database is open and free. So anyone as a female can join. Database is confidential. No one has access to it, only myself. I keep the private lives of my clients private. And then once the lady, she joins the database, she just fills out a basic form. Then I have a look at the profile and I see when my system shows me there is a possibility for a match. Then I get back to the lady, we set up a call, Zoom call, because I need to make sure that that potential match is for him and that potential match is for her. So I need to go deeper. What's your values? What's your lifestyle preferences? What you like, dislike? What's your expectations? And we're also working on that because sometimes people have very unrealistic expectations. So that's also where the little of the coaching part in matchmaking comes, where I'm trying to dig out, okay, why? Like these days, if it's someone that needs to be 6 feet tall, why? Is it true?
Okay.
Yeah, so that
But
also...
if it's something that they really want, like this is the condition, without this, I'm not moving forward.
So for instance, is it something you really want or is it something you really need? Those are 2 different things. If it's
when
something
you really want it.
Yeah.
You really want it.
How important it is to you. If you have your list of boundaries, if you have your list of values and you say that this one is 10 out of 10, I'm not making any compromise on this because of 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. You're very clear on your values or boundaries or expectations.
So you go through the values and everything. You do coaching besides this matchmaking with all of your candidates. Do you do coaching as well?
Not with all of them. So matchmaking, some clients, they can go also without the coaching. If someone approaches me, I want to be in the database, but then I ask them a question. Okay, so in your opinion, what's stopping you from having a meaningful relationship? And that's where I find out if they're ready or not.
Okay.
If they tell me something crucial where I'm not convinced that this person is ready for a relationship, to maintain a relationship or to date in a healthy way, then why would I put 2 people together that one of them is not ready?
What are the showstoppers? Where do you see these red flags when it comes to people?
When they can't have any genuine self-reflection. If they tell me something about others and they just keep complaining, that's a huge red flag.
Okay.
Like, why do you see that there is always a fault in someone else? Why you can't just look inside and say, yes, maybe this is what I'm facing, this is what's stopping me, or I'm quite not sure, maybe you can help me out to find it together. That's beautiful to see because they're like open to, I'm open to admit, I'm open to find out, and I'm open to face it. I have wonderful women in my database. They are so smart and they're so funny and intelligent and hardworking women. Okay. And then if I, for instance, meet a man that he is like very much right on spot, only this and this and this I want in my life, that's so restrictive that I don't really see the niche of my female clientele to matching his requirements. Yeah. When
you're matching these people together, how many of these ticks of the tick box needs to be matched for you to know that this is the right couple?
For instance, I do have my platform that supports me in this decision. So it always gives me a percentage. Okay. And then I open those couples and I see, what's the most aligned? Okay. But I don't only rely on this platform because, again, it's just
you meet these people, right? You talk to them, you know what's the flow, you know what the energy is.
So exactly, I try to give it like my kind of sixth sense or gut feeling. I've met this person, I talked with this person, I think that they could be a match, even though it's a less percentage or even though it's a high percentage, I don't think they would really be a match. Okay. Because, I talked with them.
Okay, and when you already have a match, do you send more options to the women? Like 1 to 2, 3 options of the men they can choose from? Or how does this work?
I'm focusing on male clients. So male clients, they have memberships and they're choosing from the packages. And depending on the packages, I'm sending them the profiles. But when it comes to women, they just sit tight, relax in the database. It's a passive membership. So I only send them matches that are 100% match. Whenever a man comes to my database, I know that I have hundreds of women.
But for
in my
women,
database.
Why is it? Why men are shy to go to a matchmaking coach? Or
I
why
think
is it?
so, yes. And men, they want to have this kind of a feeling like, I am pursuing, I am chasing, I am the one like running after women, because it gives them the feeling of being men in their masculine energy.
They are hunters.
And that's perfect. But at the same time, when men reach the point like, I'm trying, I'm doing all the work, and I can't just meet the woman that is right. Like me, I would love your support. And he does that because, not just because he doesn't know how to hunt or pursue a woman, but because he was not lucky enough to meet someone that would really meet his criteria. So instead of going on endless amount of days that are not working out, he values his time, his energy, and he reached out to a matchmaker because he can just use his time as he wants, and I'll do the hard work.
So please, if you're a man and you're looking for the woman, go to Mia, because you will find the right match.
I have really lovely women in my database. Really, I love working with them.
Are these women here in Dubai, or are you doing it also worldwide, somehow online? How does this work?
95% of my clients are based in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or UAE.
Or UAE?
And I do have inquiries also from around the world.
Okay.
So
It's
they find me-
possible
yes.
to find someone on the other side of the world when you're living in Dubai, and to have a great match if everything goes well.
Yeah, I have few male clients that are based outside of Dubai, and we're working together.
And from those women and men that you have, you said that people need to work on themselves. And if there is these red flags, if you see the red flags in whatever, women, men, how do you approach them about this? Do you provide them coaching and tells them, listen, you need to work on this and that? And how do they take it? Because people don't like to hear that there is something wrong about them. When someone wants to go for coaching, they need to want it. It needs to come from their heart,
You're
100%.
Right. Definitely. As you said, exactly. I can't impose matchmaking or coaching on anyone. They have to feel like I'm pulled towards it. I want to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So with that question, like what is stopping them? And if they say something, yeah, I'm not sure how to date, I'm not sure how to approach someone, or I'm not sure how to do this and that, then I tell them exactly, okay, imagine that I would send you on a date with someone like this, that they're not sure how to date, they're not sure how to communicate, they're not sure how to do X, Y, Z. How would you feel about that? This is quite, I'm quite jeopardizing a potentially beautiful relationship because one of you or two of you are not ready. That moment that self-reflection comes and he's in, okay, you're right, that makes sense. So how do you feel about that? That first we look into what you are going through, what you're facing.
What are the showstoppers?
Yes. And then I'm more than happy to have you in my database. But I really need to make sure that whoever I send on a date, they're 100% ready. And if they don't resonate, we part ways. If they resonate, beautiful, we can start together.
What is the number one feature that women are looking for in men these days? Because women are independent these days. They can make money, of course. They are independent. What are they looking for nowadays?
Pretty much everyone is looking for the same. And especially women, that they reach a certain age, they're like, I'm not looking for something special. I'm just looking for someone that will be really like my partner, will be supportive, will be laughing with me. Some women, they are well established, right? They have successful career. They don't need someone to really support them. And as long
financially
as he can,
support them.
Yes, as long as he can match their lifestyle, because if as a woman I can take myself out a few times a week for a nice fine dining, or I can take myself for a vacation a few times a year, I would love to be with him, and that he can do the same with me, so we can share the same lifestyle. That's completely legit. But there is nothing so specific that women are like, that is out of ordinary. Most of the time what they just want is a kind, successful man that is taking care of him, like physically, his body, his soul, eating healthy, exercising, not necessarily.
Overall, I think women need someone who are the partners with them, not someone who tells them where their place is or what they should do. I think nowadays this really changes. We are looking for the partners, for someone who lift us up when we are down and we can do the same thing, the equal partners. But how is it with men? How do they take it?
Men that I work with, they're aware of it.
Okay,
they know. And they also have that kind of an energy in them that even if she's independent, I know how to be masculine and how to let her also be feminine.
Okay.
So that's really wonderful. And at the same time, I also noticed that there is the trend when even woman, she sees that I am successful, I'm independent. But yes, I'm starting to feel that when the family comes, it will be my priority. And I'm not scared, afraid to pause my career for a while because they are able to tap inside of their femininity. And
for that, they need a right partner.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause if you don't have a right partner, you don't feel safe, then you will stay in the masculine way because you just need to protect, you just need to provide and everything.
This is also a thing that women, they should work more on, especially those that are working in, like lots of women are working in men-dominated fields, right? And they struggle how to switch from being in their masculine at work to be in a feminine at home. Because if a woman comes with her still masculine energy at home and meets her partner and two masculine will fight at home.
Fight together.
So I always also encourage my female clients to find that button, switch it off, the masculinity, switch on the one that is feminine, and be what he needs to be masculine. Because if you keep being if you as a woman keep being masculine
all the time,
he can't be masculine next to you.
But this is interesting because, okay, we're talking about women should switch to feminine to balance it. But how about men? Because he also cannot be all the time in his masculine energy. Because if he is also in masculine energy all the time, then, you know, he also needs to access feminine.
It's
features.
also important for men to know how to balance it. And it's fun when I tell them you have feminine side inside of you. They're like, what?
They have no idea about this. They have no idea. I dig deep into this topic a few months back, like maybe a year back. And me, myself, I had no idea that when you say feminine, you think about woman. When you say masculine, you think about man. But we both have feminine, masculine features, and we should know how to access them at the right events, so everything will work properly.
And there is this very simple, basic example to explain how come we all have feminine and masculine inside of us. Because when baby is conceived, it needs feminine and masculine together to come together. So you are born conceived with both of these energies. So from the second number one, a baby is conceived, it's carrying both. Right. It's just one of them should be more dominant than the other one in different genders.
If woman is only feminine, waiting for the prince to come and to save her, that doesn't work.
She's living in a la la land.
And if man is only masculine and you only want to protect and be structured and logical, and it's too much, I think it's too pushy, and a woman also needs a little bit of gentle touch from the men's side. And that's the nurturing part, I think.
Where men, they could practice their feminine energy is with communication, when they communicate with their woman. So many times women, all they just need is for them to listen. Not, don't give me any advices, right? But men, they're just like, okay, there is a problem, let's solve it. These are the solutions, this is how we're going to do it. No, all I need you just to sit,
to
listen to me, like hug me or something. And if I really need to hear any kind of advice or solution,
ask, right? You will ask.
I'll come back and I'll ask. So I know that for them, this is very difficult to just sit and listen, not to give any advice.
That's the place where they should access the feminine energy. And just try. It's not that hard.
Just listen, just absorb, and don't give anything back. Just be there. And that's it. That's all that matters at that moment.
So how would you solve this? Because sometimes you just want them to listen, but sometimes you need an advice. So you communicate it up front, listen. There are situations when I need you to be quiet and just listen to me. And there are situations when I need your advice. If I need your advice, I'm going to ask, okay? Just be patient.
Exactly, because men are not mind readers. So sometimes we really have to tell them the things as they are. So if I come to my man and tell him, listen, I would like to tell you something and I just need to vent, okay? I'm not ready yet to hear any kind of solutions. When that moment comes,
That's
I'll
how
come
you
back
do
to
it,
you.
yeah?
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
Because we also were going through this. I came with something, I was complaining or venting.
And he wanted to solve it for you.
Oh my goodness.
I know this.
And it was like all over each other. And then we learned like how to do this.
Then this fight starts for nothing. Because you just don't want this advice. You just need him to listen.
Yeah, that's why it's good to give any man to read the book. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
There's so many of them now.
Yeah.
So many of them.
So many. I'm a book nerd, and on relationships, I always read the book. So this one is next on the list.
There is also another book I would recommend. Is this Love Languages or something about love languages?
I love that book. I love it. And it has, I think, 3 editions. One is for singles, one is general, and one is for parents. And I read only those 2 first ones. And everyone should read it regardless their relationship status. Whether you have kids, you don't, you're single, you're married, doesn't matter, because the learnings from that book you can apply on any kind of relationship.
But what if these love languages doesn't match? They already
That's
together.
okay. That's okay. If you really want to make your partner happy and if you care about him or her, you're going to make the effort. If my love language is quality time, but my partner love language is, I don't know, gift. But for me, gifts, I mean, let's say nothing. I still make the effort. I'm still going to go and buy the gift because I know it matters to him. And if for him, quality time might not be the top on the list, but he has to make the effort to make me feel like I feel loved if he really cares about how I feel.
Because then something is missing in your life. And if you make an effort to buy that gift and it's his love language and he doesn't give you that back, that something's not working.
And there is this beautiful exercise from this book.
Okay.
It's called Lofting. And you and your partner, you can do regular check-ins. I don't know, maybe once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, according to where you're standing in your relationship. And you come to your partner and you ask him, how's your lofting today? So you should give it a scale, let's say from 1 to 10. And if he tells you, today it's 6.
So how loved do they feel? That means?
Yes. By how do you feel today loved by me? Yes.
By that partner.
Yes. And if he says 6, for instance, okay, what can I do today for you to make it 10? You ask them, you approach them, and they have to be honest, like what's missing. And you do it vice versa. And you do it regularly. And it's a beautiful exercise.
That is, but these people needs to be really mature for this kind of things. They need to communicate well.
Yeah, and
they
I'm
need
sure
to know.
better after years being with someone, you do this. Because you learned the lesson, you went through arguments and everything. So you're like, okay, you know what, this is helping, let's do this.
Sometimes there is no time to do anything like that.
I can imagine. With kids
so you're just
and work.
finding this 10 minutes of the time.
Yeah.
And usually when I have 10 minutes of my time, I just need quiet.
I can imagine.
I just sit. I have a friend who is to come, who comes to our house, and when kids are not there is quiet. I don't play any music and nothing. And she's single and she doesn't have kids. And she's, why so quiet here? And I'm like, what do you mean? That's like, the best thing in my life right now, this quiet. And she's like, she needs a little bit of music because she's single, no kids and stuff. So that's the difference. We always want what we don't have in life. So for me, quiet time is...
It's precious.
It's very precious, yeah.
It's
very precious.
And as a mother and a wife and entrepreneur, you do need the time for yourself. How do you otherwise recharge?
Oh, you don't. Then you are exhausted, and then you go to this loop of exhaustion, and that's not a nice place to be. So you need to keep your state.
If you don't recharge, how can you take care of your family?
Exactly. So
I think I heard before that the happiness in a family depends on the happiness of mom.
The mom.
So you can say that, yes, it's true.
That sometimes you just forget about that. You're just in this loop of activities at work or with each other, with kids. And I don't know, this goes so fast. When I would go back like 15 years, I'm like, where are those years? And what all happens in our lives on all those years? How many mistakes we did, even in relationship with our kids.
Do you see those mistakes as really mistakes?
I try not to, but of course with this mindset I have right now, I wouldn't do it that way. But of course I wouldn't be the person I am right now if I didn't go through all of the situation and if I didn't do those mistakes. So you can choose. We shouldn't regret things that happen, but sometimes they are things you would do a different way. But that would take you to the different path.
Yeah.
And would that path be better or worse? You never
would
know.
know.
And
No,
nobody knows.
no.
And that's my favorite thing to say. Nobody knows, because whatever path you take, you should trust the process.
Because I always say to my clients, stop using the word mistake, because at that given time, place, with the tools you had, with the intention you had, it was the best decision that you could
do.
It just, the outcome was not as you desired it to be. So in order to call it a mistake, say that was my learning point.
Exactly.
I'll just make sure that for the next time I'll do even better.
If you learned something from that,
Yeah.
that's the winning point, of course. If you see it as a mistake or not, you see it as a learning, yes, that's much better. So I agree with you, yes.
It doesn't sound so harsh.
That's true. Yeah. So let's wrap this up, this conversation I really enjoy, and give our listeners one advice if they are listening right now and they are looking for a partner. And they are desperate that they cannot find one. And they really want. And there is number one thing in their life that if I got the partner on board in my life, I will be happy. What should they do? What is the one thing they should do right now to get this partner? Magically.
If I should choose only one thing that they should do is to work on
maybe 2, 3.
Okay, top is, I can say 3. Limiting beliefs. You have to work on them, because sometimes I have conversation with people and they just say one word and I'm like, that's your limiting belief.
Okay.
That's what you're attracting.
What is that usually?
With women, that their partner would cheat on them.
Oh, that's the limiting belief they have? And that's why you think it's stopping them to have a partner?
Most of them, like the people I work with, my coaching
We don't want
clients.
to generalize with that.
Yeah,
all of them are like that, but there is lots of time you met with the people who has this, women who had this limiting
They
belief.
have trust issues, and
That's
I completely understand where they're coming from. Because the society where we live in, like how many people out there were not cheated on? There is only like few left.
This is very interesting, because for me, even if I wasn't married, I didn't have kids or so, this wouldn't be on my top list of thing I would consider as a problem. Like I never considered this as a problem.
You know, for who this is a problem? For those that they don't love themselves enough.
Oh, okay.
Because if that happens to me,
that's a good sign.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If that happens to a healthy individual, that someone cheats on them, I know it hurts. Like I can't say it wouldn't, and it would really make you disappointed. But at the same time, you would be like, yeah, happen for the best. Bye. Because I know my value. And if you cheat, you would cheat anyway. I can't
That's
stop
his
you from
problem,
that.
not hers.
So those people that they are afraid of partners cheating on them is because they don't believe in themselves.
Okay. Yeah. So that's number one, limiting belief.
Yes. Then
is there some other limiting belief they have? Or this is just very...
With men?
With women. Let's have a look at women.
With women, they are afraid that a partner will not be able to communicate.
Okay. That's the big one, because without communication, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Just have to communicate.
And some men, they need a little push, a little help, a little support on how to communicate. Men, they were not really raised in a society where, oh, tell me how you feel. Tell me what's bothering you. Talk about your feelings and your emotions. But we want men to be open, to be honest, to be transparent, because then we can also help them, support them to get through whatever they're going through easier.
That's true, yeah.
And also when they give us an open kind of a feedback in a relationship, we can work on that faster. You know what, whatever it is, just talk about it, just speak up. And some men, they don't really know how to do it because they don't know or they are scared.
Could you help them with this?
Of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I love when I see the shifts, when they realize, oh yeah, you're right. I can do this. Makes sense.
So that was number 2. First was limiting belief that somebody would be cheating, so trust issues. Second was communication factor.
And I would say, do not put anyone on a pedestal very soon.
Oh, this one is the good one. Very good one.
So many people, men and women, they put someone they start dating on a pedestal, like already after date number 1 or 2 or 3. Like, why? You don't know this person. You spent together, I don't know, in total 6 hours, and all of a sudden...
Tell you why. Because of these pink glasses you're wearing. All of these butterflies you have.
Women are like, I just want a partner. I just want a partner, which is great, but hold your horses. don't put him there yet because he didn't deserve it yet.
Okay.
So watch for the actions, not for the words. Shut your ears and look, see what he's doing.
But how do you know it's the right one when you meet him?
When he gives you peace of mind.
Peace of mind. You feel peaceful inside of yourself.
Yeah,
Like
peace of mind.
Yeah.
When you feel...
How about these butterflies?
Oh, no.
No butterflies? Butterflies are bad? No butterflies?
No.
Ladies, butterflies are not good sign.
Butterflies, they belong to rom-com movies, chick flick movies,
Okay.
and when we were teenagers. But right now, if you're at the stage where you're looking for something meaningful, you seriously want to feel like hot and cold, push and pull, and chemistry. The question is, why do you feel this way? And if you say, I don't know, you don't know, you really want to feel something that you're not sure like where it is coming from, like where is
I
this?
don't know, but the chemistry that it needs to be there.
Chemistry
also
can be
for-
built over time.
Really?
Yes. I'm a living example. Like I used to date people before because I was like, I'm going to give this guy a
That's
chance
interesting,
because
actually. That's interesting view. But you have to be at least physically attracted to the person, no? And that's these butterflies comes with. No?
men are more into physical attraction than women. So from the women's perspective, that's why I'm saying the chemistry can be built.
Okay.
From the male's perspective, I believe as well, but he needs more the visual stimulation in the beginning than women. Yeah. But
This is complicated.
no, not really. It's just the way biologically how we are built, the hormones. So I always say women, they fall in love through what they hear. That's why I
Hear.
tell women, close
Close
your
your
ears
ears.
and just look for the actions, what he's doing.
Okay, so you need to, looking for the actions
Yeah.
as a woman.
And then men, they fall for women that they're so gorgeous. She's like this, her hair, her body. And then even after the first date, the woman is like not that smart, not that funny, not that established, or look for the things that might not seem so obvious to you at first.
Okay, so before you look for the partner, you need to remove your limiting beliefs. And
Then you have to work on the
communication.
And then third one, don't put the person on a pedestal.
And don't go for butterflies.
Butterflies. Yeah. We're not teenagers anymore.
I know. Thank you for conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you're looking for a matchmaking coach, go to Mia's website. How does that call this? Find Your Swan?
Findyourswan.com is the website.
Oh,
yes.
website. And you're also on Instagram, right?
Yes, Instagram as well. Find Your Swan.
Yeah. And if you're a woman, you're ambitious and you're going after your dreams, and maybe you get stuck at some point and you need to get to the next level, go to femisticated.com and we're going to talk about that. We also remove all showstoppers from your life and you're going to get to the next level. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
For the
much.
next one. Bye.
Bye.